Welcome back to another episode of TPC. Let's do the Week 11 college football predictions. I know it's been a while. I didn't do an NFL prediction last week. Dealt with a couple sickness. Kind of did a little vacation on Halloween weekend, but we're back at it, back to normal schedule. Let's start with the Week 11 predictions. Let's start with Friday today. Pretty much Houston versus UCF, Northwestern versus USC, Tulane versus Memphis. You know, Friday matches are looking really good. I think the one that I'm going to pay attention to a lot is going to be USC versus Northwestern. I know it's at USC. USC has the better offense, the better defense. They're ranked number 19, but I think Northwestern's going to make it a competitive game because we forget they beat Penn State. I know Penn State fell off and everything, but they beat Penn State on the road, like when they were healthy and all that, and then Drew Aller got hurt in that game. But we know how that went, though. But I think this is going to be a very understated game. I look how it goes. We know how USC's offense is one of the best in the league with Jaden and Lemon, and then you have I forget their other receiver they have. They have another good receiver. I forget it's let me see. And Jordan at the running back too. Lane, I always forget Jacoby Lane. Those two receivers are one of the best duos in the Big Ten. I have to say, up there with Jeremiah Smith and Tate, of course, though. But I mean, Jaden's been very solid for this offense. I mean, this offense has been very solid under him. Overall, having I believe almost 3,000 yards passing with 15 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. Overall solid team right there by his part. But I look at Northwestern. Their offense is really Preston Stone, if anything. If Preston Stone doesn't do good, the offense sucks pretty much. So I had to say, give me Jaden and the USC pretty much win this game. So yeah. And the Tulane versus Memphis, a very underrated game right here. For the American Conference, of course. Pretty much who's getting that first bye? Who's going to take that lead for the American Conference? Who's going to be the 12th seed to play Georgia or Alabama, of course, in the 5th seed playoffs? So this game's going to have implications, of course. South Florida had a win last night against UTSA in a blowout. Baron Brown went off in the rushing and passing, of course. 109 yards with, I don't know how many touchdowns, but 200, almost a total of 400 yards from scrimmage. That guy's carrying that team pretty much. And I really want to see South Florida in the playoffs. If they could play Georgia in the playoffs, because they already beat a SEC team already this year at their home. So if they can play another SEC team, be interesting. But I know they lost to Memphis, though, a couple weeks ago with that. So in this game, it's at Memphis. Memphis favorite 30.5. And the big eye point for me in this game is going to be Memphis's run attack. Can they consistent the run attack against this Tulane defense? Because you look at this team. Rezolf, he's been really consistent for this team ever since transferring from BYU after his whole situation, and he's leading rusher, of course, too. And that's the big thing of this team. It depends on him, if I have to say. I don't pay attention too much to Tulane football, though. I just know they have 2 losses on the season, with that loss to UAB, of course. I think it was Memphis. I don't know. I get confused. Was it Memphis who lost to UAB, or is it Tulane who lost to UAB? Memphis lost to UAB. That's what's correct. Okay, my bad. But I look at Memphis offense. It's really depending on the quarterback play, also with Brandon Lewis. But the run game has been the big factor for this team. Their run game has been Brandon Lewis and Sutton Smith, of course, leading the team. And you still have, Greg and pretty much Greg and Sutton Smith, pretty much. It's been pretty much the team, if anything, if I have to look at it. So, it's a run-first team, and it really does depend on that part. Sorry, I'm still ill a little bit, under the weather. Look at these other games, though. But I have to say a team I pick. I would take Memphis. Memphis is hosting this game. But Tulane, they're trying to put themselves in that playoff position. Because Memphis is right now the favorite with only 1 loss this year to UAB, of course. But maybe Tulane can pull the upset with under Resolve. So if that happens, it'd be kind of shaky for the American Conference, if I have to say that for sure. Because a lot of teams are trying to get that 12th spot for the chance for the playoff spot. No for the Friday games, though. Let's talk about the Saturday games, and let's start. We got some haters right now. Penn State versus Indiana. We know Penn State's not anything anymore, so let's go Indiana right there. Mississippi State versus Georgia. Give me Georgia. SMU versus Boston College. Very underrated game, but SMU's getting that win over Miami last week was very competitive, and it was very Kevin Jennings did really good in the game, winning OT, kicked the game-winning field goal because Carson Beck had 2 picks in that game, crucial picks, kind of selling them. But this offense looked really good with Kevin Jennings, and only 1 loss this year in the SEC play. They can try and make a play for the SEC championship, and they can. It would be very competitive though. But I don't think they're going to win this game against Boston College. And Boston College had a close game against Notre Dame a little bit, but then they got blown out in the second half, of course. But we saw what happened when that was going to happen. But give me SMU in this game, especially on the road. Looking at these other games, though, Ohio State versus Purdue, give me that. Nothing too crazy at the 11 o'clock games, I have to say, except one game. My game, I'm going to be sitting down. I'm going to sit on my couch and watch this game. Texas Tech versus BYU. The, BYU Cougars are going into Texas Tech, and I am excited about this game. I am thrilled by this game. Everyone is excited in Lubbock. And you see the crowds. It's insane right here. And this right here could put either program at the chance to win the Big 12 championship this year. Because if BYU loses this game, we're going to get a rematch, of course, against Texas Tech versus BYU. In my opinion, I think they're going to see a rematch if that. But if BYU goes into Lubbock and wins that game, Texas Tech, your season is done with Big 12. Any hopes of playoff chances of anything like that. So both these teams are trying to get that. And then the thing is, both these teams from the college football playoff predictions, they both host a playoff game. BYU, of course, plays Notre Dame. Texas Tech plays Oregon if the season ended today, of course. But if I had to say, Texas Tech's defense looks really good. Rodrigo in the running game, not the running game. The quarterback play with Morton backdrafts last week with the blowout win over K-State on the road. But Bear's been really good with 11 touchdowns. The running game has been really good. Chase Roberts has been really good with this team. Kelly. Overall, I look at this team, it's been solid. And then you look at the defense. Dave Bailey and Rodriguez has been really good for this. And that's what the thing about Texas Tech compared to other teams. Their defense is really good. But the thing that's interesting about BYU, they have 177 yards rushing and passing. That is the big outlier. They're running that ball down your throat with their quarterback, the run game, their Eddie. It's so entertaining how the BYU is winning these games. And their defense is very consistent too, right there. Their defense is very underrated compared to other teams. With that, they pick Texas Tech to win this game. I know it's going to be high competitive because BYU, you look at their games, they haven't played anyone crazy. Utah was a good game, of course, but they were home for that game. Colorado was a close game. Arizona, they have these close games. It's just the run game's been really killing these teams because they get the final drives and get in the run game. You look at Texas Tech, their only loss is to Arizona State, of course, and that was with Will Hammond at quarterback, not Morton, and Will Hammond is out for the year. If they had Will Morton in that game, I think it would have been a whole different environment right there. And it's just this team is very consistent with Tech, and their defense is so good. I just really like where this team is going with this. So, yeah. Okay. So, if I had to pick a team, I want to take the Cougars. College game day is going to be there too. I want to take the Cougars in this game. But I think Lubbock is going to get this win. I think Lubbock's defense is going to shut down that run game, take it away, make Bear, because you forget, Bear's a freshman going on the road, and Lubbock is going to be insane. So I'm going to take Dave Bailey and Rodriguez and those boys on defensive side, get the win on pretty much Texas Tech, and we're going to get a rematch in the Big 12 championship versus the Cougars and Tech, and I think BYU will win that game in my opinion. So that's my prediction for that. Enough with that game. Sorry, y'all. Alright, let's go with the 2 o'clock games now. Maryland versus Rutgers. Give me Maryland, of course. Missouri versus Texas A&M at Missouri. Very underrated game. This is going to be high scoring because we know A&M's defense is nowhere to be existing. It's not existing, if anything. I think A&M is going to have a close game against Missouri and those boys. If Perillo is back at the quarterback, I don't think he's back. I think Matt Zollers is going to be there, but we know Ahmad Hardy and Kevin Coleman Jr. really one of the best SEC players for Missouri. And I think that defense with Torton, of course, and you have Dallas Wilson, it's very underrated. So this game, we know A&M has one of the best offenses. They're ranked number 3 in the country, and we'll have the bye, of course, in the postseason, and it's today. I just look at this. I just got to see. I just need to see if he is playing. Because if Perillo is playing, I think it's a different game. Let me see. Missouri football. I just need to see something. Alright. Perillo is out. So that is the big outlier right there. He is not playing this game, and I'm really shocked. Not shocked, of course, we saw what happened to his injury. Okay, my bad for saying that. But if now with Perillo not playing this game, and we have a freshman quarterback playing against A&M, we saw what he did against Vandy. Almost led a game-winning touchdown. Hail Mary pretty much win that game. Came down to 1 yard. Kevin Coleman was right there. If he just reached the ball right there, or just had his feet or something, just something could have happened. He had a solid game, of course, against Missouri, against Vandy. So, yeah. I'm going to take A&M. It's going to be a high-scoring game, of course. I just don't trust A&M's defense. That's my thing with that. Miami versus Syracuse. I'm saying A&M in that game, okay. Miami versus Syracuse, very underrated game because last year Miami lost Syracuse, kind of eliminated from the playoffs pretty much. Miami's coming off a loss, of course, against SMU. I'm going to take Miami in this game. I think Miami will bounce back at home, too. So I think they'll bounce back in this game. So I think Carson Beck and the boys got that. Let me see these other games. This game is pissing me off. Everyone, even McAfee and everyone, not McAfee, Kirk Kirkshire, he said Iowa's getting the win over Oregon. Oregon's going into Iowa. Favorite 6.5. They really do not bet. I think Oregon got this. I think Oregon's going to just blow the crap out of Iowa because Iowa has a defense. Yeah, I haven't paid attention too much about Iowa football. I know they're ranked number 20. I see. Okay, I did not know that. I think this is from college football playoff prediction. That's why it's like that. Okay, interesting. Because let me see this. Okay. Groski's our quarterback. 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Okay, that is just... This is just... I don't get it. What is eye-opening about Iowa football? Because I don't know too much. Okay, Indiana game. It was a game-winning touchdown. Remember that when that game, Elijah Shrag got that. And then 3 points game, a game-winning field goal against Iowa State. Okay? Those are 2 losses. Other than that, it's been dominant by them. And their defense has been really consistent with that. And I do think their run game is really good. Yeah, the run game is a committee with Morton, Grosky, Williams, pretty much all run game. No pass game, okay? And the defense has been really stellar with that. But we look at Oregon. Oregon has Dante Moore, Dakota Moore, Sadiq, and the run game with, I believe, I'm trying to remember the running back. Is it James? Not James. I mean, on the other side of the defense, of course, you have, like, Mateo Gugulev, pretty much. And Noah Whitten, my bad. And Bryce Butcher and Jeremiah Mixon. So, yeah. And Hill, Jordan. So, it's a running back committee with that and Jaden. I mean, the big factor is going to be if Dakota Moore could be that big factor, and can Sadiq get that pass game going with him, and Gary Bryant with that other side, with Malik Benson. So, they just got to get the pass game going. And, I mean, Dante Moore with 19 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. I expect them to be back. I think they're going to be red hot again, and I think Oregon's going to just blow them out. I mean, their only loss, you look at the games against Rutgers, they blow them out. Wisconsin, they blow them out. Northwestern, they blow them out. I mean, they blow out their opponents, and they put points on the board. In that Indiana game, I know they got exposed, the sacks and everything. They couldn't block for crap, and Iowa has one of the best defensive lines in the Big Ten, of course, because they're only known for their defense and their tight ends, okay? So that is where I'm at with this. I'm going to take Oregon. I think Oregon's just going to expose them. I think we just know that. I just can't believe Kurt took him on the Pat McAfee show. He's going to think Iowa's going to win that. And it's just shocking. He's going to get proven wrong, of course. Enough with that. TCU versus Iowa State. Give me Iowa State. Vanderbilt versus Auburn. Give me Vandy. I think Vandy will bounce back, of course, at home, too. They'll bounce back against that. And Ashton Daniels is the quarterback for this game, too. Washington versus Wisconsin. Give me Washington. I think Washington's going to keep it up, too. North Carolina versus Sanford. Give me North Carolina. Wake Forest versus Virginia. Okay. Virginia's having too many close games, and I think it's due to happen. And Wake Forest could probably pull upset because we saw what's been where Virginia has been very inconsistent, and they're only favorite 6.5 in this game. Okay. Virginia's games: 1-10 against Cal, 1-1 against North Carolina, 1-2 against Washington State. It's just too many close games, okay? Too many close games for me to say if they're a playoff team because they're in the playoff team. They're the first place right now if the season ended to get that 11th seed to get that other conference win, conference Power 4 school. So it's just I look at this game. There are too many close games. They're due for an upset. It's due to happen, and I think it's going to happen this week against Wake Forest because it's too many times, too many weeks. I'm going in. I'm like too close, too close, too close. It's probably due to happen. If it's not this week, it's going to happen soon when they play a team. And let me see their schedule because we know Wake Forest is a decent team, not up there, but yeah, they should finish a year competitively, with one loss. But when they play the other teams, it's done. I don't trust their team. I know their offense is really good with Chandler Morris. I just don't trust when they play a competent team. that's one. I think they're going to be first round exits if they get in the playoffs some way somehow. So that's my opinion on it. I'll take Virginia in this game though, but game in the couple weeks you'll see upsets with them. And that's for the 6 o'clock games also. Louisville versus Cal, very underrated game. I think Louisville will win this game though, but very underrated. LSU versus Alabama. I mean, we used to say this is going to be a competitive game, and this is just... We know they're rivals. We know these guys hate each other. And Alabama should win this game in a blowout. They should. They're at 10.5 in this game. So, I mean, this is LSU's first game since the firing of Brian Kelly. 3 losses this year, 3 in SEC play. It's going to be tough for you to somehow make a playoff appearance or even a conference appearance. You still got Alabama and you still got at OU. Not looking good. So, give me Alabama. I think Alabama, Ty Simpson, Deere, Miller, Ryan Williams, all those guys, Bernard, Isaiah Horton, the defense looking good with Justin Jefferson and Deontay Laws and Brown. Just give me those guys. Give me Alabama. I think Alabama should straight dominate in this game, if I had to say. So, that's my prediction with that. Kentucky, Florida. Give me Florida in this game. I know it's at Kentucky. Nebraska versus UCLA. Very underrated game. Nebraska's only favorite 1.5. I'm going to take UCLA in this game. Notre Dame versus Navy. A lot of people have been saying this is going to be the upset alert. Oh, upset, because the Navy's hard offense with their pass game, with run game, with, what's the quarterback's name? I forget. Blake Homer, because the run game and the pass guy, it's Notre Dame. We know they're going to make the playoffs. This is their only game they have competitiveness, and then they should make the playoffs. That's my opinion on it. So, give me Notre Dame in this game, of course, because that's just... I don't know why people think this game's going to be competitive. It's Notre Dame. So, looking at the rest of the schedule, nothing too crazy. This week is very midweek, I have to say, of college football. If anything. So, yeah. So, I thank y'all for joining me this episode of TPC. I'm a little ill right now, but we'll get an NFL video back tomorrow, if anything. So, thank y'all for joining me for today.